Michael, great to see you. You've had a front row seat to all of this over the past 3 days, and now we're seeing some of the biggest Trump supporters like Representatives Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert push against their favorite president. So how does this kind of reveal President Trump's apparent lack of power to reel in his allies?
There's a really interesting dynamic that we're seeing play out here because, as you mentioned, former President Trump gave a full-throated endorsement for Kevin McCarthy. He actually first threw support behind Speaker McCarthy, or the idea of Speaker McCarthy, in November after he won that closed-door election to be the Speaker nominee. And then President Trump doubled down on that in the past few days when it became clear that McCarthy was having some trouble securing that Speaker's gavel. He even upped that when he called on Republican members of Congress to support Kevin McCarthy, to throw their support behind him, even when there were a handful, about 20 Republicans, who had opposed his bid for Speaker. After he put that endorsement out, it did not move any of these Republican lawmakers, people like, as you mentioned, Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz. Even though they are very big Trump allies, they did not opt to support McCarthy after the President Trump called on them to do so. So what does this mean? What can we read from the tea leaves? It definitely is interesting that these Trump allies are not running to the former president's side and listening to his call for action. But I think it's important to note that someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is also a very large Trump supporter, she's been one of McCarthy's largest advocates as he works to secure the speakership. That's been the case since he won the closed-door nomination in November. So while those 20 lawmakers and those really close Trump allies did not move when the former president made a call to action, it's important to note that there are some Trump allies who were side by side with him throughout this entire speaker debacle.
And Michael, the latest update now is that House Republicans, they've reached a round one deal. Can you tell us what's a part of that, and will it be enough to appease the holdouts?
That's a good question. So that's right. So Ralph Norman, he emerged from Tom Emmer's office, who will likely be the majority whip in the 118th Congress. He came out and said that a phase one deal had been struck. It's on paper, but it remains to be seen who will back that. But first, let's dive into the deal. What does it include? 72-hour rule, which means that lawmakers will get bills 72 hours before they are brought to the floor. The Holman rule, which has been something that the Conservative Freedom Caucus has been pushing for. It'll also allow for an open amendment process, which makes it easier to bring amendments to the floor during legislative debates. And then it'll also include a vote on term limits, which has been another priority of Freedom Caucus members. So while that's the deal that has been previewed to us by Ralph Norman, it remains to be seen how many of those McCarthy holdouts will be swayed by those terms. And that's what we're trying to figure out right now in the Capitol, asking those holdouts, is this deal enough to bring you on board? Because remember, right now there are 20 Republicans who have voted against McCarthy. There's one person who has voted present. You need to get the majority of those holdouts on board. McCarthy does, if he wants to secure the speaker's gavel. If all members vote for a specific candidate for speaker, that means that McCarthy can only afford to lose 4 Republican members. Right now, there are about 5 who have said that they're never Kevins, who have said that right now they are firmly opposed. We have to now find out if these terms in this phase one deal will do anything to sway them.
All right, Michael, we'll be following your updates on Twitter. Thank you so much for joining us here on DC News Now. Appreciate it.